Thanks, Mike. Your social security number, credit card numbers, and more are all fair game for hackers, and they're getting better and better.
WDRB investigates the meteoric rise in data breaches, leaving millions of people's private information exposed every year.
It can happen to anyone.
You don't know who it is and you're scared to do anything.
At any time.
It's taking over.
Anywhere.
Well, when I went to go get my COVID vaccine, they had my address wrong.
That's how it started for Tina Witt. But that was just a blip on the radar.
A couple weeks later, I started getting stuff in the mail saying that Best Buy had someone tried to open an account for Best Buy, Lowe's, Home Depot, and I was like, something's up.
Her identity was stolen.
Why would anyone want to steal my identity? Mine. Of all people, I don't have any money, I have nothing, no good credit, nothing. Why would they want to steal my identity?
But this battle is not Witt's only fight. Back in 2000, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and her information being stolen has made that fight even harder.
I can't get in and out of my tub. We moved into a house that was my grandmother's house, and trying to lift my leg over is very dangerous. And I'm trying to redo my bathroom. I can't get a loan.
Witt is not alone. Millions of Americans have had their information exposed. Social security numbers, credit card information, passwords, all sitting and waiting for a thief to swipe and sell. But how are hackers getting your most private information? Cybersecurity expert Jeff Chandler says much of the time, the victim doesn't do anything wrong.
I help companies who just get frustrated with their technology, worried about keeping their data safe from hackers.
It's called a data breach. Hackers get access to your personal information by getting into the systems of companies that hold it. Headlines have shown that big companies like T-Mobile and Equifax have been hacked recently, leaving customers at risk.
It takes one message to get through, someone to click one link for the bad guys to get a hold into your network. They run this as a business, and that's what you got to keep in mind. These criminals, it's a business for them. So what they want to try to do is they're going to try to lock your systems down, is they're going to encrypt your data, and then they're going to ask for money to get that data back.
At that point, it's already too late for businesses and the customers they serve.
You can compare it to loose change. Now think about loose change underneath a couch cushion or at the bottom of your purse. You know, is that how your business, the businesses you deal with, is that how they treat your data?
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita and his office track the data breaches, and things are changing for them, and fast.
It said be foolish not to admit anyone shouldn't admit that we're not swamped, because we are.
WDRB Investigates found the increase has been astronomical. In 2014 in Indiana, the Attorney General's office tracked 406 company data breaches that affected 250,074 Hoosiers. That's a lot, right? Well, it gets worse. Fast forward just 7 years, and it's more than tripled, with 1,535 companies reporting data breaches affecting 1,319,428 people living in Indiana, or about 20% of all people living in the state.
Never-ending battle, right? So we have to add lots of layers. The hackers will find ways around the tools we use today, and then we build defenses against those, and then they find new ways.
In both Indiana and Kentucky, there are laws that require companies to report when consumers' data has been exposed to hackers, both to the consumer and attorneys general's offices. But even then, not everyone plays ball.
How often does that happen?
Well, about 2% of the time we issue fines. And like a lot of parts of life itself, it's usually those businesses who don't want to cooperate, who are trying to hide something.
Getting the companies who have been hacked to report is one thing. Finding the hackers is another.
And unfortunately, they're in places like Russia, the Middle East, China, North Korea, places where we can't easily do anything about it.
So, what can you do if many of the places that get hacked are going to have your info no matter what, like a doctor's office?
Best way to guard against it is to monitor your credit report. Only do business with those businesses that treat your data with respect. Freeze your credit report. That's not something you need to be in or shouldn't be in every day, so freeze it. to keep others out of it.
It could have been worse.
For Whit, it's not something she wishes on anyone.
Hours and hours of phone calls and letters, and I had to freeze my account, sit on hold for hours trying to talk to someone to get this straightened out. Keep track of your stuff, pay attention, get on the Credit Karma apps and check it, probably daily.
With Darius Bowie, Travis Ragsdale, WDRB News.
And if you have information about this story or any story you think our Investigates team should look into, email us at investigate@wdrb.com or call 502-322-1297.